Well, welcome Paula Allen to the Guilt-Free Marketing Summit. Thanks for being here, Paula.
It's so good to be here today.
Yes, so we got to talk about a lot of business. We got to talk about some business. You have been an entrepreneur for, more than 40 years? What inspired you to start building businesses, and what's keeping you motivated after so many years?
Yeah, so I always say I was one of the original babysitters clubs before the thing came out. I literally
Yes.
got people in the neighborhood to help me, and I built a business. I paid the first down payment on my own house in California from that income from when I started when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Okay, so yeah, you really have been doing this
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, yeah,
So what
I'm not exaggerating
so
on the numbers. Unfortunately, I'm a little over 40, so I can.
So what's kept you motivated for all these years?
Well, I'm unemployable is one of the things. I've only worked out in the real world. I'm not a good employee. I always say if you're an entrepreneur, you'll work for yourself 70 hours a week just fine. But if you go work for,
Yes.
and they try to make you work from Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, you're like, no, don't make me do
I yes. I feel that. I feel that. So yes, it is very motivating and empowering to be doing your own thing on your own time, right?
that. Yes,
So you've built several different businesses. It's kind of interesting. What, a transcription company, a travel agency, a VA business. Like, okay, how did what's a big lesson from all of those about building something that lasts?
yeah. Do the right thing at the right time. So in a business, it takes time to build, and you've got to go through steps. And I always say I have a degree in child development. My early love of went into a degree in child development, and it also and it inspired me to think about all the developmental stages that children go through. Our business goes through those same stages,
Ah,
just hopefully a little
yes.
quicker, and they don't stay in that
Yes.
teenage stage quite as long, thank goodness. So, but yeah, so it is doing the right things at the right stage. So I find a lot of early entrepreneurs try to go build all the funnels and do all the things when they don't even know what they're selling. So they spend a lot of money, and then they have to fix it once they know what they're doing, really, once they know what their
Yes.
business really is. Because a lot of times your business doesn't stay the same. As you can see for mine, it's morphed, and
Yes.
I've put partner businesses with it over the years.
Yeah, it is. Things do change, and as soon it's almost like you said with kids. I remember when my kids were younger, and it's like once you just get used to one stage, they'd switch and go to another stage, and you're like,
Right.
but now I got to do something different. And I feel like business is the same way.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Hopefully you're a little more in control with your business, hopefully.
A little, maybe a little bit, yeah.
There's no free will on the other side coming back at you, which is
Yes.
helpful.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. So, I think you've said before, business isn't just another, check the box. It is a calling. And so tell us what that means to you.
Yeah, I just think one of my big passions in life is to the reason I actually do what I do is especially for women entrepreneurs is to make sure that they're getting their stuff out online, because I feel like we're all put here for a reason, and whatever that
Yes.
reason is for you, you need to do that. And things like tech and building stuff and all that stuff make people stop and go, I can't do that. And
Yes.
it's like, yes, you can. Let's do it. Say step by step, right? Just like you do everything
Yes.
else, you've got to do it step by step. You're not going to get to do it all today, but it's definitely, it's like you were put with that stuff in you. I was on a summit. I was on an event, and a bunch of women were talking. I was like, these people are all brought together, and they all have different things that were put inside them in their lives. And so,
Yes.
but in their, they need to come out. I mean, you were here for a reason. We're not just here just to be here.
Yes, 100%. And I mean, you talk about vision, vision and values. Those are really crucial when you're building a company and a team. Like, why do you think that is?
Well, obviously, you can't know. I mean, now I will say that vision is more like what you're creating. It's less the how you're creating it. So vision. So when you start getting down in the hows, that's when you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's like, that doesn't matter. It will develop. It will, as long as you take another step and another step, it'll get to your vision, right? So what are the steps? So what step by step get to that vision?
And so in doing all those steps as, entrepreneurs and solopreneurs like myself, we end up trying to do everything ourselves. We get burnt out. So like, we've all been there. But you learned how to get past that and focus on building a team. So tell us about that.
Right. So that actually brings in that values, right? So you build a culture and values, and then you bring people alongside you that complement you, not compliment you. And I always say that's with an E, not an I. So compliment means that you need to do the things you do best in your business. And you need to be the face of your business in that. And even me, I'll tell you, it's really hard. I'm a behind the scenes person, but I'm like, okay, you've got to go to the networking, you've got to go do all this stuff, right? Yes. Because I need to run my business, and so I need people behind me that will do the tasks of the business, and all of that, So, and I need those people that are just passionate about making sure everything gets done. Right, I've run an event and I'm on summits and things like that. The work still needs to get done, But building that team is building the people that will help you, that are part of your culture, part of your people, your company. They're not just random people out there. You build the ones that you need, and then you build them up and keep them around, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, and thinking about that, what are the most important qualities to look for when you're building that team?
I think one of the you can teach how to do something more than you can teach who a person is, right? So like you have values. You have to know your values, and I have friends that do a lot of values work with people, but you have to know what that is. Like me, I need high communication because I've got clients who are just waiting for, hey, where are we at on this? They just want to know that we're actually working on their stuff, right? They didn't just pay me and we disappeared, right? Because everyone has a virtual assistant story that says that. I paid them and I couldn't get them to finish it. If you've been in business for, almost everyone has that story. And so it's like, I need someone who's highly communicative, and they'll just say, hey, I'm stuck on this one thing, or here's where we're at with this. I know you have a meeting today with her, that will help me push that along so that we can make sure that we're keeping all the balls in the air, because we keep the balls in the air behind the scenes for lots of companies. So
yeah. So I mean, do you have an example of maybe when you had the right team in place that helped you take it to the next level? Is there a story behind that?
Yeah, so I was one of those entrepreneurs that was in control and doing it all myself, and and I maxed out. I couldn't level. I couldn't scale. I couldn't level up. I couldn't do. I was at my point where it's like I almost burnt out completely, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And someone goes, well, why do you have to do that? And I was like,
yes,
good, fair question. And isn't that what you do in your company? You give other that off. Yes, and we all have to learn our own lessons, right? And
right.
And so I made it a really good goal, and because sometimes it's easier. It is easier in the now to do it yourself, but building a team is easier. Easier makes it easier for you to build, to scale, to leverage. You can't go any further if you're going to always, oh, I'll just do this myself. Oh, I'll do this myself, and I'm really fast and very efficient, and I can do it myself, but should I be, right? So I have to, and in fact, I have a team member right now that, in fact, she'll say, what are you doing? And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? She'll just ask, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm fixing this funnel. She goes, why are you fixing a funnel when you should, why are you fixing a funnel when you could have just sent that to me? And I'm like, good question, right?
That's the right person on your team, right?
Right? Exactly. And I need someone, just like every other entrepreneur, I need someone who says, why are you doing that when I could be doing this, right?
Yes.
Because she also knows that she gets paid if she does work, and if I have work coming in, so I need to get out in the world, right? And
yes,
so,
exactly.
It works out, it's all a cycle.
So I know a lot of people, and this is, we're talking about the guilt-free marketing summit, and there is a little bit of guilt behind asking for help. How do you overcome that mindset?
Honestly, I overcome it by knowing that I got some money in someone else's pocket. I let them, because they have something inside them that needs to come out too. And that person doing those funnels for me, that's her call. She does an amazing job at the tech and the funnels and things like that that I can do, and it's her. I love to do this kind of stuff too. And so I think that's what it is I'm helping her. She's a single mom. I have other team members, but she's a single mom, and I'm helping her feed her kid, do what she needs to do, and build her family. And so I think that we forget that it's not about us most of the time, right? And so it's really not about me. It's that I get to pay it forward. I have one of my team members lives in the Philippines, and so I keep a really close eye on her when they have big typhoons, but also I know what that income means to her family. And and things like that. So yeah, I think it's just knowing them, and knowing that I need people behind me, and why wouldn't I want to help other people and pay it forward?
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Is again, we always talk about selling as service, and you're selling to your clients and all these things, but it's also service for your partners who are helping you win, and helping your clients win as well.
Right,
so it's a win-win-win for everybody, right?
Right, and they get totally invested too. They'll ask, "Hey, how's it going?" Right, and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when hiring somebody, especially like, a lot of VAs, like you said, are overseas, there is a trust factor. How do you overcome that, or what do we need to know, or, to make a good decision in hiring somebody in that way with the trust there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in order to overcome that, you give them little things at a time. Start small. One thing, they get it done, do it. Next thing, next thing, next thing. They'll go. In the VA world, the people will promise you that they can do everything, and I can guarantee you they cannot, because that's not how we're wired. We're wired with, and my question, one of my questions is always, what is the thing you most love to do in this job? Because that gives me like what kind of person they are. If they're the design, I love to create all the social media posts. You're a design person, right? And things like that. So, or I love to build a really pretty landing page, and things like that. And I'm like, okay, now I know which clients they can serve really well, and stuff like that. But also, it just gives me where they really will shine. Like, I hate video editing. I hate it. It's like one of those things, like, how that pile of receipts that the accountant gets at the end of the year because people won't do that with the receipts? I'm that way with the video editing. It will sit on my desk forever. And so I have someone on my team that loves to edit videos. She is so good at it and loves it. Why do I have her on my team? Because I hate it.
That's exactly right.
And she is my savior. I will bend over backwards to make sure she's happy, and will always cut video for me, right?
Yes. It's those things where you go, well, I can do it, but I really don't want to do it. So might as well give it to somebody else.
Right? Yeah. Just like everyone else, it'll take you 3 times as long to do it just because you don't want to.
You don't want to do it. Yes, exactly.
Or you have to remember once again, like, oh, I haven't done that in a while. How am I going to do that? Someone does
exactly.
it all the time,
Yes, and you have to relearn, and then you got to ask ChatGPT or look at a YouTube video, and you go, oh yeah, that's right. That's how you do that. Yes.
Except that it changed 3 times since then.
yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, everything changes. Everything changes.
Right.
So you talked about the importance of collaboration and communication, and having that teamwork really be seamless. Do you have any favorite tools or strategies you use to facilitate all of that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I do lots and lots of tools. I have lots of certifications and all the stuff out there. I always call myself the chief button pusher. I will push the buttons and make things happen when no one else can. But I think that having a good place to put a good communication source to what needs to happen, and tasks and SOPs, which are standards of procedure. I always tell people that, because sometimes if you haven't been out in the world and don't know what an SOP is, you're like, what is that? Yeah. It's a standards of procedure. It's basically like, every time we do an event, this is what this looks like you with your podcast, with the summit. Every time I do a summit, this is what And the first couple of times, yes, it takes you longer to put all of that together. But let me tell you, the next time you're like, oh, this is okay.
Easy. Yeah. Yep.
It's just one thing after another, right? I mean, it's easy to figure out. It's not hard. And so having that stuff in place makes it to where you can build a team. And then it also empowers that team person to be able to go find what they need without you having to be in control of it. And
Yes.
so it's like, here's your video, here's your written instructions, however you need it. Here's everything you need to get your job done and be successful. And then it works out well because the less friction, I mean, if you think about it, then they have to come back and ask a question. Then you have to stop whatever you're doing or figure out their answer. And then they on their time schedule, they'll get, because my people are contractors, so I don't have control of their time schedule. And sometimes, like I said, I had someone in the Philippines. Half the time she's asleep when I'm answering her.
Yeah, right.
She's asking me for things, right? And it just kind of depends on where we're at in our day. And so it's like just making sure that we know, that everyone has what they need. They're fully equipped with what they need. And I did work out in the real world for a little while, for a couple years, and that was one of the things that I saw that in where I was working, the people didn't have what they needed. They didn't have the training, they didn't have they didn't have any backing, and they didn't have even the support. And so they not only did they not have the materials, but they didn't have the support either. And it was really like, well, no wonder they're leaving all the time, right? And no wonder they're not happy with their job, because it's not fun to go, am I ever going to get that thing? I could have gotten paid, right? Because they're doing this for money. I mean, we're all working. We all
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So, do you have any particular software that you prefer for managing a lot of the projects and communication?
A lot of people, if you're looking for free software, a lot of them use ClickUp. I do not. I use Teamwork, and I'll tell you I use Teamwork for a reason for my business. I looked at it. I looked over the years. First of all, right now, after all these years, it's got too much in it. I could never change. But second, but I still love it. It's a little more expensive sometimes than some of the other ones, but I will pay that every day because that's my second brain. But it's anything that you can assign, you can put directions, instructions, and assign things. So Asana works, ClickUp works. It's almost what works for you. My Philippine girl and I use a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet per month, and pay her by the month, and we just go down and I give her everything she needs right in that spreadsheet. She puts notes in there, I put notes in there, and at the end of the month I just tally hours and pay her. And so that works out for us. But so my team here in the United States have access to my Teamwork account as well. Okay. So it just kind of depends on what you're doing and what works for you. I always say what works for you. A lot of people love Trello boards. I can't stand them because my brain does not work that way, and so I cannot stand a Trello board. But that doesn't mean that it's not that good for someone else. It's just not the way my brain works, right? And so so there's a lot of them.
I started using ClickUp for a while, and it was great because I had one VA where I could literally make videos, do the Loom videos of here's how to do this, that, and the other thing, and then it was always in there so that she could always reference it. And if I ever got a new VA, that person, I just go look at the video; it's right in there.
Right.
So
exactly, that's perfect. Yeah,
that's your time saving right there. For training and that type of thing. And it's always the common tasks you do all the time that you shouldn't be doing that somebody else could do.
Right, exactly.
So finding those places. So I know that a lot of people who are maybe just starting out, they might be thinking, man, I would love to have a team, but I can't afford a team. What's a good first step in getting some kind of support?
Yeah, so the first step is knowing what, like you just said it a minute ago. It's getting those things that you do all the time documented. Like, even if it's just document it for you. I don't know about you, but some days my brain is fried. I'm like, what am I supposed to do how do I put up this blog? And it's like, really? I mean, that's something I could do in my sleep. And so some days, just having those processes, anything you're doing all the time, get on Loom, get on Zoom, even get on something and just hit record. Record yourself doing it. And honestly, with all these AIs, tell it, turn on your AI on whatever you're using and say, transcribe this, and then you can take it that's one of my favorite things to do, is make a Loom video, take it, put it into a transcription product, let it transcribe it, and then I have a template for SOPs. So I say, here, add this, this is the link for it. Make an SOP, make my SOP that way, and it'll create the good. SOP because I already have the template in there. So it makes it really easy, and then it'll just create it for you.
That's great advice. And that's, like you said, start building that library of everything that you need. So then when you are ready, then you can very easily just go, okay, here's everything, and not have to figure out, because I've done it before where you hire somebody because you know you need somebody, but you're like, but what am I supposed to give them? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I wanted them to do something. What was it? Right. And yes. So you need to have that list.
Right. And start small. Everyone's a contractor. Start it a couple hours a month. Say, hey, I'm just looking for someone for a couple hours a month or a couple hours a week or whatever that looks like. And say, here's the first 5 things you can take off my plate. Think of how much time that's going to give you that week, right? And then the next week, and then so you can just, and then add more to it. That's usually how people, become VAs. They start doing little things, and then they build up and end up behind companies, right? Behind the company as the manager. Well,
and we know that you do need to have the team if you want to scale. Yeah. So if you want to scale, you got to have the team. Yes. So. That's amazing. So tell us, like maybe in a nutshell, like what you do for your clients.
Yeah, usually it's a lot of what we've just talked about. It's looking to see what the behind the scenes looks like in a company, and where are gaps and what we need to do. So I do a lot of strategy and thinking with my clients of what's the best way, and we look at everything from, I always say, your team to your tools. Your tools are also part of your team. To to your culture and everything else, and what you're creating, but also we look at vision, what's going on, what it's going to look like in the next year, what we want to happen. Because if you're going, if you're going to start doing an event a month, let's just keep it small here. If you're going to do an event a month for the next 12 months, what does that look like, right? Well, we need marketing, we need the event, and then we need post stuff, and we need all those steps. Well, my brain thinks in those steps, so but we need all of that stuff every single month to happen, and so then it's developing systems around to make sure that everything's efficient and happening well, and if our tools are going to work for that, and all of the things. And so I do have I have a lot of tools I share, but I do have a Go High Level agency as well, because I found that one is up for entrepreneurs. It's pretty easy with an all-in-one system, all-in-one spot. And So tell us.
So a lot of people may not know what Go High Level is. Since you are an expert in that, I'll let you explain it better.
Yeah, it's an all-in-one system that has everything in it. So it has like your email marketing. I mean, it has so much in there. My overview video is 18 minutes long. That's how much is in there. But it's got like the memberships and the courses and even communities like Facebook groups. It's got its own communities function, and it has. It has you can text and you can email, and your calendars can be in there, and your email marketing, your social media posting, all of that, and funnels and websites and all of the stuff. It has everything in one system. So it kind of is all in one spot, which is nice when you don't have to, you're going out. But like I said, you got to do the right thing at the right time. And sometimes when you're just starting out, there's no reason to have this big system. You just start out and see what works, right? And pick up the free stuff and just figure it out, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right? And then you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, I can't go any further with this. And then that's when you need to move.
Yeah, I always say, as long as you're taking at least one step in the right direction, like a step is a step. You're like, we know you want the 1,000 steps, and you know where you want to go, but it's not going to happen immediately. So like you said too, kind of just a little bit at a time, and going to get there in those steps. So before we wrap up, I understand you have a free gift for everyone. Tell us about your gift.
Yes, I'd love to. So part of what what my value is building community and making sure that you can find the person for your team that you want, and people can go back and forth. And so I put together a directory, and I called the Build Your Dream Team directory. And I'm giving away 3 months to anyone who wants to be part of the directory. You just have to fill out the whole form and get it all up, and then And then after, and then we'll go on from there. And there's a lot of different ways I spotlight. I've been online for 20 years. I know a lot of people, and I have people ask me all the time, who do you know that does this? And it's just my way of saying, go here. Let's go find that person. Because, I'm at a certain age now where it's like, I'll go find that person. Then finally, when I find them, I'm like, who was it that asked me?
Yes. I get it.
And so,
Awesome. Well, that's a great gift, and it's perfect for what we've been talking about. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here today, Paula.
For the invitation. I really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely.